The instant judgment. How does our brain judge people in a second? Every day, we encounter countless people. Some we meet for the first time, others are familiar faces. However, in just a fraction of a second, our brains begin forming judgments, impressions, and evaluations about them. We often refer to this as first impressions. But how does the brain achieve this remarkable feat so quickly? Is it accurate? And what factors influence these snap judgments? This documentary delves deep into the neuroscience, psychology, and social implications of how our brain judges others in an instant. The mechanics of the brain and rapid judgment. From an evolutionary perspective, the brain has developed to make swift judgments as a survival mechanism. Early humans relied on quick decisions to assess whether a stranger was friend or foe, safe or dangerous. This need for rapid judgment is wired into the brain, particularly through systems like the amygdala and prefrontal cortex. The role of the amygdala. The amygdala, a small almond-shaped cluster of nuclei located deep within the brain's temporal lobe, is primarily responsible for processing emotions. It's especially sensitive to negative stimuli like fear or anger. When we meet someone for the first time, the amygdala helps evaluate whether the person is a threat, often before we're even consciously aware of it. Within milliseconds, it scans for cues like facial expressions, posture, and tone of voice. Prefrontal cortex and decision-making. The prefrontal cortex is involved in more complex judgments and decision-making. While the amygdala makes rapid, emotional assessments, the prefrontal cortex processes the information and helps form a more reasoned judgment. However, in the initial moments of meeting someone, the prefrontal cortex is slower to respond, and emotional responses from the amygdala dominate. The influence of appearance, facial symmetry, and trustworthiness. Research shows that humans tend to favor people with symmetrical faces. Symmetry is often unconsciously associated with health, vitality, and good genes. According to evolutionary psychologists, our brains are wired to view symmetrical faces as more attractive and trustworthy because, throughout evolutionary history, people with such traits may have been healthier or more successful in passing on their genes. Eye contact and gaze direction. Eye contact plays a crucial role in forming first impressions. If someone maintains eye contact, it can signal confidence, trust, or even dominance. Conversely, avoiding eye contact might be interpreted as a sign of insecurity, untrustworthiness, or deception. This judgment is instant, as the brain has evolved to read subtle cues in body language as indicators of a person's intentions or emotions. Body language and posture. Posture and body language are equally critical in shaping how someone is judged. An open, relaxed posture signals confidence and approachability, while a closed or tense posture can signal defensiveness or discomfort. The brain rapidly processes these nonverbal cues and categorizes the individual accordingly, often without conscious effort. Cognitive biases and stereotyping. In the first second of meeting someone, our brains rely heavily on shortcuts, cognitive biases, and stereotypes to fill in the gaps. These biases are mental heuristics that help us make quick decisions, but are often based on preconceived notions rather than factual information. The halo effect. The halo effect occurs when we assume that because someone has one positive trait, like physical attractiveness, they must possess other positive traits, such as intelligence or kindness. This is a bias that heavily influences our initial impressions, leading us to judge individuals as more competent or trustworthy simply based on appearance. Stereotyping. Stereotypes are deeply ingrained in our brain's pattern recognition system. In an instant, The brain categorizes people into groups based on features like race, gender, or age. These categorizations, while automatic, can influence judgments unconsciously. Even well-meaning individuals may make biased judgments based on societal norms or cultural conditioning without realizing it. Confirmation bias. Once an initial judgment is made, our brains seek information to confirm it. This is known as confirmation bias. If we've judged someone to be unfriendly based on their body language, we're more likely to notice behaviors that support that judgment, ignoring contradictory evidence. This process solidifies first impressions, making it difficult to change them later on. Speed of judgment, the science of milliseconds. Several studies have shown that our brains can make initial judgments within just 100 milliseconds of seeing a person. This snap judgment is largely based on facial expressions, race, and gender. Surprisingly, judgments made in such a short time are often similar to those made after longer periods of observation. The power of the face. Studies in social psychology reveal that participants were able to judge a person's trustworthiness or competence in less than a second, often with high consistency. This finding underscores how much weight we give to facial cues in forming our opinions about people. The thin slice theory. The thin slice theory, pioneered by psychologist Nalini Ambady, suggests that even with very limited information or exposure to a person, people are able to make surprisingly accurate judgments about others' personality traits, intentions, and even competence. In other words, the brain is remarkably efficient at distilling a vast amount of social information into quick, accurate assessments. Can we trust our instincts? The accuracy of snap judgments. While our brains are exceptional at making quick judgments, they are not always accurate. Snap judgments are prone to error, particularly when they are influenced by biases or incomplete information. For example, overgeneralization from appearance. Our brains may associate traits like attractiveness with positive qualities or infer negative traits from someone's appearance due to cultural or personal biases. While these judgments can sometimes be right, they can also be wildly inaccurate. Social and cultural influence. Snap judgments are not made in a vacuum. Cultural norms, media portrayals, and social environments heavily influence how we perceive others. For instance, someone from a culture where eye contact is less common might be judged harshly in a culture where direct eye contact is valued. Reversing snap judgments. Once formed, these initial judgments are difficult to reverse. However, sustained interaction and exposure to new information about the person can override the initial biases. Cognitive flexibility, emotional intelligence, and self-awareness can help individuals counteract biased snap judgments and form more accurate assessments of others. The implications of instant judgments in modern society. In the workplace, first impressions often determine how colleagues, clients, or employers perceive someone's competence and professionalism. A snap judgment based on appearance or behavior can shape career opportunities, relationships, and social dynamics in the workplace. In social relationships, whether it's a potential romantic partner or a new friend, first impressions play a key role in how relationships begin. These judgments affect who we are drawn to or repelled by, potentially shaping the trajectory of personal connections. In legal and educational settings, judgments made by teachers, police officers, or legal professionals can significantly affect people's lives. Understanding the role of biases in these snap judgments is critical for reducing errors and ensuring fairness in society. We now draw our conclusion on the power and peril of snap judgments. Our brains are equipped with remarkable tools to help us navigate social interactions swiftly. However, the speed at which we judge others can also be a double-edged sword, leading to biases and errors that affect both personal and societal dynamics. By understanding the neuroscience behind first impressions and acknowledging the biases that come with them, we can become more mindful and intentional in how we perceive and judge others. Ultimately, fostering awareness of our snap judgments can help us move toward a more empathetic, inclusive world. Thank you for joining us on this journey to explore the fascinating world of instant judgments and how our brains shape first impressions. We hope this documentary has given you new insights into the complexities of human perception. If you found this video informative, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with others, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. And to stay updated on more content like this, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Your support helps us bring more thought-provoking content to you. Thanks for watching.